I remember when we were growing up, we would not sleep before reciting the Rosary. And when mom was tired, we would recite it in short form. Later, I realized the short form we recited was Divine Mercy Chaplet. Many Catholics recite the Rosary daily, and not only recite our rosaries in the church, but also we have special times and places we set aside for it. Many keep their rosaries in their pockets, wear them on their necks. Ladies put them in their purses. Others hang them in their cars. Some put them on bedposts and more other places. These days, we have even finger rosaries, wrist rosaries. Nonetheless, when did this whole idea of counting beads while praying rosary begin? The rosary is one of the most cherished prayers in our Catholic faith, done by repetitively reciting the Creed, Our Father, Hail Marys, the doxology, also called Glory Be, the Fatima prayer, and concluded with the Salve Regina, that is, Hail Holy Queen. During this recitation, the individual meditates on the saving mysteries of our Lord's life and the faithful witness of our Blessed Mother. This is how it all began. In the past, the faithful said prayers in a repetitive manner and found different methods of keeping count, often by using rocks or pebbles. On the contrary, the monks were reciting all 150 psalms every day as part of their prayers and devotion. To keep track, they would count out 150 pebbles and then place one pebble in a container or pouch as they said each psalm. People living near the monasteries wanted to mimic this devotion, but due to lack of education, couldn't memorize all the psalms. Printed copies were not available, even for those individuals who could read. But how did the Rosary come about? The inclusion of these prayers in the Rosary did not happen overnight, but was a lengthy evolution down through the centuries. So, Christians began to pray 50 or 150 Our Fathers each week instead of the Psalms. In order to keep count of the Our Fathers, they often used strings with knots in it instead of counting on rocks. Later, the knots gave way to small pieces of wood and eventually to the use of beads. Some theorists say that Saint Dominic, in his dream, received a rosary from the Blessed Virgin and instructed him to preach the rosary as part of his effort to counter the false teaching that denied the mystery of God becoming man and born of the Virgin, that rejected the sacrament and allowed secularism. Mary said to Dominic, if you want to reach these ardent souls and win them over to God, preach my Psalter. The Psalter refers to the angelic prayer, that is the Hail Mary. Saint Dominic was the founder of the Friars Preachers, commonly known as Dominicans, who honor him by having a rosary as part of their habit. You have seen them with huge rosaries hanging on their waist. Something to note, in the 14th century, the 150 Hail Marys were divided into 15 groups of 10 beads each, placing Our Father between each group or a decade, that is 10 beads, as we call them today. The prayer was thus made up of 10 Hail Marys, repeated 15 times with an Our Father in between each set. In the 15th century, the phrases meditating about Jesus and Mary were inserted. From the 16th century until the 21st century, there were 3 sets of mysteries: the joyful mystery, the glorious mystery, and the sorrowful mystery. But in 2001, Pope St. John Paul II added the mysteries of light. The intent was to include meditations on the time in Jesus' life between his incarnation, that is joyful mystery, and his passion, a sorrowful mystery. During this time, this prayer form became known as the Rosarium, that is, Rose Garden.